If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution. Because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children. And not for coworkers either. And yes, that includes you, Cindy. And everybody knows you steal their lunches.
I didn't need to eat lunch anyway.
How'd you like that tuna fish sandwich made out of Friskies, Cindy? Somebody's been stealing my tuna fish sandwiches, so I made one. It was tuna fish, all right, but it didn't come out of the same can that we eat out of, JJ. I opened the Friskies tuna fish can.
You got her.
That was.
You know, Cindy, my wife and my kids sometimes collaborate kind of as a fun thing to make my lunch in the morning. You know, it's like a fun family thing for mom and daughter to and then you take it because you're a fucking horrible human being. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That's Deacon. We are your two dads. We meet every morning to talk about news and politics and coffee and media and culture and pop culture and, I don't know, alligators sometimes and fat people.
We haven't talked about werewolves in a while.
It's not werewolf season. We got to wait. We've talked about plenty of were people. I'm going to make that happen. That's going to be a joke. That's my
allergies are messing with me, man. I don't know about Texas, but Kentucky is if you have allergies. Wait, let me rephrase that. If you don't have allergies and you've never had allergies before in your life, come to Kentucky and you will develop allergies. I've had people say that. They're like, I'm from Michigan and I've never had this before ever. Like, that's Kentucky. So,
you know, I remember reading a story many, many years ago about a guy who had allergies. He lived like in England or something like that. Yeah. He had allergies and he like, it was just terrible. It was like constant. He couldn't, his face is swollen, all of this. And he read about this supposed cure for allergies. So he went on a trip to Africa. Yeah. And he went to this tribe's land, right? And he goes down to where these people are living down in Africa somewhere, and you take off your shoes and you walk through the dirt over here for a while, and you do that for a few days. And what happens is the worms that exist in the gut of these Africans are excreted, and it goes into the dirt. And then when you walk barefoot, those worms get into your feet. And then they get into your gut. So the solution for this guy for certain kinds of allergies was to acquire a parasite by walking on tribe poo. And it cured it. He got no allergies.
I mean, I just got some paper towels. I don't mind blowing my nose a couple of times. It's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. I don't have walk through.
You don't want an infestation of parasites in your gut.
I don't want poop worms crawling in my feet. No, I don't. I don't want poop worms in my feet. I mean, do you? I don't think many people do, but
no. I just, I take a little loratadine and I'm good.
Yeah, Claritin. Yeah, we've got Claritin. Yeah, have you ever heard of Claritin? You don't have to put poop worms in your feet. Hey, hope you're enjoying your breakfast and welcome to Your Two Dads with JJ and Deacon. Yeah. We're going to talk. Our topics today include poop worms, ear hair, and nose hair maintenance. And then after a while, we're going to clip our toenails live on the air.
God almighty. Oh, my eye. It got me in the eye. Right. Dude, this is the way it goes. Hey, please tell me some music. Okay. Let's culture these people up a little bit.
Ooh, I've got some culture for you today. You've heard, you may have heard of this person. This person was very famous when we were younger, when we were in high school in the 90s. This person was younger, but since we were that age in the 90s, we would not have listened to this person because. Have you ever heard of Bjork?
Oh, yeah, dude, of course.
Okay, yes. Bjork. I didn't listen to Bjork in high school because I
You
was
didn't?
18, 19-year-old.
Oh,
I was
oh, dude, I
17,
did.
18-year-old.
Okay, slow
I've heard
down.
Army of One. We listened to Army of One in
Yeah,
high
but
school
she's Icelandic. She's this
Yeah.
Icelandic music person, and
Yeah.
she has this kind of like ethereal quality about her, or like
Yeah.
fairies and
She is
things
a
like that.
fairy. You're
She
exactly
straight
right.
lives in like some other
I
world.
think Bjork is a fairy that has come to
Yeah,
our world. Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So Bjork, if you've never heard the song Yoga by Bjork, I'm giving
Let me
you
find this.
today. No, wait, no, JJ, stop. I'm giving you the version to watch. I don't want you to watch my normal version that I give you.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a live version from the
All right.
BBC to watch. I
Okay.
just posted it.
All right.
This
I'm all right.
When she sings this song, it moves me to tears every single time I watch this song. I watched it this morning and a freaking tear comes out of my eye because of the passion that she puts into singing this song. And Bjork is very much it's like I put down here, she uses uncommon time signatures, rhythmic patterns that are uncommon to European music traditions. 4/4 time signature. She don't do that 1, 2, 3, 4. She don't like to
Right.
do that, and that's why I love. She has this jazz like vocal improvisation that she does, and this song does not go in a. You listen to it and you're like, is she singing on a beat? And if you really get into it, she is on perfect beat from what she's doing, but she's not in a 4/4 time signature in this song. But you watch this whole performance, you'll want to watch the whole thing. This performance moves me. Me and my brother, who is he's in a metal band. He's been in a metal band for 20 years. He's a metal drummer. We're metalheads. We love metal music. And me and him had the longest conversation about Bjork and how amazing
Dude, she's just something else, dude. She's just a different kind of human being. A different kind of human being.
Yeah. This was a great ad today. I was like, man, I really want to put Bjork in there, but yeah, I'm going to put Bjork. I was going to pick somebody
How
else.
are you gonna? I mean, like in terms of people with just like a different kind of lyrical voice. I don't even know who else you put in the category with Bjork, because
really,
she is so
She's so
distinct and
unique.
so unique.
Yeah. So listen to this, and when you get time, I'm talking to our viewers now. When you get time, go to our Discord server or go to YouTube and look up the song, but look up the live version. It's called it's Bjork Yoga, and it says like it's from BBC Music. It's from BBC Music, and she's there on stage with an orchestra with a bunch of strings. It's so good. It's so good.
She's so physically into this too. I don't know if she's doing this to keep the beat, or if she's just like
she gets into it. I would be you can see that she gets into that song, and to listen to the song, it's just man, she's just got such a beautiful voice. I love it.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that honestly, that she's so impressive. She always was, but she's never been about like being a massive hit. Right?
Yeah.
She's literally always been about the music and whatever it was, and like making her own stuff.
I know she had Army of One. Let's see, Bjork discography. She had Army of One that was a big, where's my singles? Army of One. Human Behavior was the other one. Human Behavior was that other
that was a big
song
one
that was in the United States. In Iceland, she had a bunch, but in the United States, she didn't do as good as well as in the other countries. Gosh, I don't even remember. Oh, It's So Quiet, and that hits number 4 on the charts.
Yeah, is that the one? Oh, yeah, It's So Quiet is the one that has a great dance number. Like I think It's So Quiet is the one that has like a big. It's like that. They have a camera. They have a crane camera shot, and a bunch of people are dancing and stuff. It's pretty great.
Oh, that's the UK I'm looking at. Oh, in the US, she didn't do hardly shit in the US. That just shows. But she was so big, huge in Iceland.
I remember, and it's been like a million years, but I believe I remember reading an article in Spin Magazine where they kind of talked, like, it was kind of like a report of a conversation with her, and she had, I think she referred to the songwriting process as being better than sex, right? Like in that sense, like she enjoyed that creative kind of jam of having artists together, like, you know, making music, and that was more important to her than, you know,
Physical,
than other people like accepting it or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good comparison. I
don't
understand
know.
what she means. I understand what she means.
I might be misattributing it. Don't sue me, Bjork. I do like you.
I do too. I've always thought she was so cute. She looks like a fairy.
Yeah. She's like a fairy. Straight up, she's like an Icelandic fairy person.
Yeah,
that
she
like
is.
she just believes. She just, her brain is somewhere else. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it has been 4 years, 5 years. We have been hearing about how Donald Trump colluded with Russia, even though we can't actually prove it, even though there's no evidence, you know, but like we definitely are investigating the fuck out of this thing, this Russia collusion.
Definitely. Because Biden is on Ukraine's side.
Yeah. So obviously, right. The biggest thing in the news cycle probably this week hit yesterday. It might be the biggest thing in a while. It might be the biggest thing in like 10 years, really. And it started so small. But the biggest news dropped yesterday, the Durham report, a 300-page report from
it's a good movie with Kevin Costner. Baseball? Is it about baseball?
No.
Durham? That's not this is not what you're talking about.
There's plenty of bull.
Oh, okay.
There's plenty of bull.
My bad. I'm confused.
No, the Durham report has been dropped. It's where special counsel John Durham has been investigating the origins of Crossfire Hurricane, the investigation into Trump and Russia and how they colluded together, even though like not Trump part was not actually colluding, and Russia may have been trying to interfere with our elections, but like, of course they fucking are. So today's episode, boys and girls, Durham report. Of course, the FBI lied to you.
Look at that sweet ass goatee, man.
That is a dedicated. Okay, so I apologize for the low res picture of Durham. I threw it together. Yeah. I apologize. That is a dedicated type of goatee. I mean, he's like, look, I don't want you to know where my lips are or my chin. It's just going to go from my nose.
I honestly don't know if we have a name for, you know, with the ones that come wide out like that. Because if you'll see, I shaved. You know, I shaved.
Oh yeah, you got the what is that? The little
That's my flavor saver. That's
flavors.
Yeah, I get a little something in there.
I didn't think that's what that was called. I thought that's like it's not a beatnik thing. It's, what do they call that? It's not a Van Dyke.
No, the Van Dyke is what I usually wear up here.
I
wore just the goatee or the Van Dyke all through high school, or all through I got out of high school, because when I grew a mustache, my hairs would like become ingrown, and I didn't like it. So I would just always wear that. But anyway, his is more very Civil War-ish. Doesn't he look like a Civil War general? I tried to have a goatee last night, but I screwed up.
Oh no, we're interrupting the Durham report. We are definitely gonna figure out what the deal is with the. We have a chart for.
Let's get into it. I like his goatee.
Let's see. Give me this.
You need to shave your goatee. When you shave like your beard, do you, like with your girls now are big enough, and you probably don't do this but you need to do it now. Okay. When you decide you're going to shave your face, I used to do this to the kids when they were younger, and I'd have my beard like yesterday. I would shave a bunch of different things. Like you have to plan, okay? Because you can only do 2 or 3 before you shave everything off. But I would plan different things, like the big 70s mustache and the big sideburns, like, you know, like the very top one up there, the sideburns, the pork.
I got, let me, sideburns are something I can never do. Because right here at the top where your hair meets and your beard happens, there's like a 1/4 inch. It's just like, there's no hair. It's not going to grow right there. So I can't do sideburns. So I never could do any sideburn styles.
If I grow all the hair out on my face, you would be like, dude, do you have that wolf boy disease? I mean, I really do, except it's not beautiful hair. It's like coarse, hard hair that Ashley don't want to kiss me.
Here you go. It's a soul patch. It's right here. It's on the left-hand side. Okay. You can't see my
Look
marker.
at that one down there. What the hell is that one called?
The Wario, the Super Chin Puff,
Yeah.
Super Chin Puff.
I like the Scottish one right
So
there in the middle, at the very bottom in the
where's
middle.
John Durham's? I don't see John Durham's.
We might. That's what I was getting at. We may have to invent
I think
one.
unique.
He could be that one right. Hang on, I can't read them.
Yeah, I know. It's
It
very
looks
small.
like it
I'm
says
sorry.
Budweiser right there in the middle.
That's not good.
Okay.
That's a signal for a certain kind of people to.
All right. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, so John Durham's John Durham's goatee is very impressive. All right. So John Durham report. Here's what it says. It says, okay. So as a precursor to this, a couple of years ago, there was an investigator general's report that had more limited scope, and the investigator general's report said they found no wrongdoing. And so Democrats, especially Democrats, latched onto that IG letter and said, oh, they said that the investigation had found no wrongdoing. Well, the investigator general report only had a limited scope of information. John Durham had all of the information. He had access to everything. And this is what the John Durham report says. It says that based on the origins of the Crossfire Hurricane investigation should never have become an investigation. There was one paragraph of information in this thing that was called paragraph 5, and it was kind of the substance of the origin of the whole investigation. The FBI never tried to corroborate any of the information from the tip, the Steele dossier, which was fabricated and paid for by Clinton, or Clinton's, organization or whatever. Never tried to corroborate that information. Never tried to get Steele to provide corroborating information. Even when Steele was offered $1 million for corroborating evidence, couldn't produce it. The FBI never tried to and never corroborated any of that information, which means that they started an entire investigation into a presidential candidate based on uncorroborated evidence, which violates their own standards of investigation. They have all these norms and standards of law enforcement, and it violated their own standards. And it was politically motivated. The Durham report covers how absolutely Peter Strzok and Lisa, whatever her name is, Stroud, I don't know what her name is. These people that were in the New York office that originated this thing absolutely were doing it because they didn't want Trump to be president of the United States, which means, ladies and gentlemen, you do not live in a democracy and you do not live in a republic. You live in a whatever the fuck it's called when bureaucrats and agents and people who are not elected and are hired by the government and appointed to positions of power just decide that they know better than you. So they'll use their power to change the results of elections, or try to, or they'll investigate you without crime or cause.
Saying all this bullshit, JJ. Everything you're saying is a lie.
Oh, I'm just saying that's what people could conclude if they read the Durham report. 300 pages long. I bet most people won't read it,
dude. Most people won't read a freaking one paragraph. Our attention span anymore is headlines. Okay. I have tried to convince my bosses at the radio station, bosses that are in their late 80s, that are in middle 80s, that have been doing radio since their early 20s. Okay. I've tried to convince them that their 60-year model, 70-year model of 60-second and 30-second ads does not work anymore. That we need, because we're having trouble selling 60-second and 30-second ads to clients anymore because of COVID and everything, and clients started dropping. Radio stations lost a lot of revenue. Okay. So I was trying to think up all kinds of ways to get, you go out and this client does not want to buy a 30-second ad. I tried to convince them people's attention spans have shortened quite a bit. We don't need to be selling 30-second ads. People don't listen to 30-second ads. 15 seconds, 10 seconds. A lot of stuff that you see on TV are 10-second ads, 5-second ads.
Oh my God,
Whatnot.
dude.
You can get through those and you can get your point made, and they will not adopt it. There's one legitimate reason why we don't do that. That has to do with FCC policy and money and politicians and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I just can't get them to adopt this. People's attention spans are one headline. Nobody's going to read this 300-page Durham report.
Oh, I know.
Nobody read the Star report back in the day.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter what this report, the
TLDR.
substance of the report says, because people are going to come out and just lie.
I want
about
TLDR.
it.
What's the TLDR?
You know who James Carville is, right?
Yep.
James Carville. So James Carville was already on TV yesterday. I saw a clip of him yesterday.
James Carville was on TV.
That dude is
he's never on TV. Shit. He's very shy and bashful.
But he was on it. It was like just basically pissing all over this report. We already had the IG report that said what we wanted it to say. So he
never says anything controversial.
If that guy says anything, you could be like, it's not true. Whatever it is, he is lying.
Whatever James Carville says, do the opposite of.
It is definitely a lie. And he grins at you, knowing that he's lying. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah, smiling the whole time. I always hated that back in the day when they thought it was cool to put him in movies for some reason. And all of a sudden, you're sitting there watching a movie, and his lich-like, undead-looking fucking head pops up, and he's like, he looks like Fire Marshal in this motherfucker character from. Remember Jim Carrey's Fire Marshal?
Yeah, Fire Marshal. Yeah. My wife does that impression all the time, and I'm like, that is not sexy, wife. I can't even do it. My wife can do it, and then I'm just like, I know you're trying to be funny, but
hurt my neck.
I'm gonna do the neck part.
All right. Sorry, James. Anyway, don't sue us. I look like you.
I'm not sorry. Piece of. All right. So the FBI took a bit of a black mark, and this is great. This is great, actually. The FBI posted a statement out on Twitter. Let me get that real quick. FBI had a response to the Durham report coming out, and I do want to read that. So give me just a moment.
Okay, I can say something while you're looking for that. I just want to. We're on the first page of the podcast. We're number 3. Nice, very nice with the blurry ass picture. Way to go, JJ. No, I just want to look at the camera and say this. We know that we do have at least one FBI person that watches us. I know that.
Please don't investigate us.
Look, no, I just want to say this to any other FBI people that are watching the show today, because we're having some problems with getting the names at the bottom. I'm Deacon. My name's Deacon.
Oh, hey,
that's JJ. JJW with the big W. All three
for the purposes of this show, I currently live in Canada.
He lives in Canada. His name is GGX.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, this entire show is in French. So
oui.
I don't know what you're gonna. All right, so let me show this. So the Durham report drops yesterday. Bombshells go off all across media. Jake Tapper even has to basically eat crow and say, "Oh, it looks like it looks like some substance of Trump's claims of Russian collusion is a hoax have been substantiated." So Jake Tapper had to eat crow. The FBI posted this on Twitter. The conduct in 2016 and 2017 that Special Counsel Durham examined was the reason the FBI leadership already implemented dozens of corrective actions which have now been in place for some time. Had those reforms been in place in 2016, the missteps identified in the report could have been prevented. This report reinforces the importance of ensuring the FBI continues to do its work with rigor, objectivity.
Do you realize that these motherfuckers basically just did the equivalent of don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness?
Oh, yeah. No, that's exactly what
exactly what they fucking did to the American public. They convinced the majority of the American public that this man was a piece of trash. This was the beginning They have done it the whole time. And now that they have convinced all of these people that this one man has done all of this bad shit, because these people 8 years ago, we are, a decade ago, we had all of them convinced that the Bushes were the baddest people on the earth. And before that, it was Reagan. And before, it's in 10 years, it's going to be somebody different, because Donald Trump is going to pass away and he's not going to be here anymore. And it's going to be somebody different. It's going to be DeSantis or somebody else. It's going to have the same crap. But basically, this is they've made 70% of the people, 50% of the population believe some falsehoods, and now they come back with proof a decade later and say, oh, we were wrong and you guys were right. At that point, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. That is the equivalent of me going on the front page of the newspaper and saying JJ is stupid, and then 3 days later printing a retraction on page fucking 10 saying JJ is not stupid. I'm sorry.
Well, okay. So on that last thing, I want to mention something on that. Let me just finish this.
Okay.
So the FBI had the audacity to post this notice like, yeah, there was something wrong back in 2016 and 17. So that's why we made some changes. And if those things had been there, we would have never had this problem. They had the audacity to post this, even though we just, and I said to them, so what year was the FBI using Twitter as a sock puppet to try to manipulate elections? Was that 2016, 2018, 2020, 2022? We just had Twitter files and a bunch of other stuff. We had FBI agents actively involved in social media companies for the purpose of curating American speech and trying to shape American opinion. Now, on the thing that you're talking about, it fell out of my head. It was important. It fell out of my head. Where did it go?
I got some. Oh, it's a stink bug. That's not.
Let me just go look for it.
I don't know what the crap he's doing now. He's probably got to skip.
I can't find it. I can't find my thought. I lost it.
I do that crap all the time, dude. I mean, as I'm getting older, we're your two dads, so
yeah,
I do that crap. Alex will look at me and be like, I'll be like, will you give me that the thing right over there that's sitting there with
the word the thing that I want. Go, I'm obviously pointing right at it. Just give it to me.
Yeah, the bread. Give me that.
Aphasia is coming for us. We can't remember words.
All right, man.
Okay. Let's see.
I think I mean the FBI is going to lie, the CIA is going to lie, the government's going to lie, you're going to be lied to. So I mean that's what I have grown up. We have grown up, and we're the parents now, okay? We're not the grandparents, we're the parents. And we have grown up being taught that the government does lie to you.
Right.
And I've always been, under the impression that there are certain things that I don't want the government to lie to me about, but I don't want to know. There's certain things that the government needs to do that I don't need to know as a citizen. I don't need to know, for a multitude of different things. I don't need to know about some secretive stuff that goes on to do stuff. There's certain things that the public doesn't need to know, because if the public has access to the information, everyone has access to the
information. That's true.
So the public does not need to know certain things that happen.
Yeah, except that we can't trust the people that we are entrusting with that responsibility.
The problem is that there are, out of 100 people, if the government was made up of 100 people, oh shit. Hang on, I got
to do a thing. So I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, kind of makes you think a little bit. Let me check chat. What's up, Wobbly Bits? Hey, Richter, Brian, good morning, everybody. Okay, so. Okay, the idea is that we have to have people in our government that have secrets and knowledge and information, because they're combating against other opposing countries. They've got to stand against Russia. They got to stand against China. We have Russian spies spying, and they have Chinese spies spying. We have, India and Pakistan spies spying, and we got to have our spies spying, and they got to have secret information to be able to push back against that. Maybe not. What if it's not true? What if we could get a lot farther, a lot better, if we didn't allow our public officials to have secret information? What I mean, I don't know. How far does it go? What do you guys think? Like maybe our relations with Russia wouldn't be absolutely destroyed because we're propping up some third party war. Maybe instead of our whatever we're doing now, maybe if we had ever been like, hey Russia, we're glad you're not communist anymore. We'd like to help you be a free society. We'd like to partner with you instead of a fight against you. I mean, why are we? America takes especially the spies, take the position that every other country in the world is adversaries. And by treating them as though they're adversaries, they make them into adversaries. I don't know. We definitely can't trust the people that we entrust. So maybe we shouldn't give these kind of authorities to people. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. It's complicated. It's complicated because like we exist in a world where there's all kinds of powers and stuff, but maybe if we just kept to ourselves and didn't empower our government to be total assholes to the whole world, maybe we wouldn't have as many problems with everybody else in the world.
But
mind our own business.
On the same, I caught the end of that. On the same hand, I mean, I look at it like you have enough. If you have, I'm trying to figure out a way to word this. If you're the biggest guy in the group, because you're the biggest guy in the group, it is now your responsibility to protect the group and protect some of the weaker members of the group, because other people are going to pick on those people in the group, and you're the bigger guy. You need to protect those people. It's your responsibility to do that.
Oh, okay.
Because you're the biggest guy, and it's because it's your responsibility to defend some of these people that are getting picked on. You're going to piss off other people.
All right, but your metaphor is that America is the biggest guy, and all the other little countries are little, and so it's up to us to defend the world.
I'm trying to give that as a loose metaphor. Don't go so. I mean,
no,
America has been.
I know.
We might not be the most powerful anymore, but we have been for a while.
Well, we certainly have more resources.
Right, being the most powerful military. I always took it as. Yes, it's our responsibility, because we're the most powerful, to take care of some of these other countries that can't defend themselves. If some of these other little bitty countries and these people that are like my mom and dad, but they've got different color skin, but they're the same people like my mom and dad are trying to live their freaking lives and just live and love and work, and these people are acting like assholes to them. Yes, I've got the ability to stop this and let you live your life, and because I'm so big, I should be able to go in there and flick my finger.
A little of it's abstract thinking, and you have to reconcile. I mean, and you're not wrong. That kind of metaphor, a little bit of it's abstract, but you had to reconcile the metaphor with you got to reconcile that with like the legal authority, the sovereignty of our country.
You're exactly
we don't have the right to go and interfere with other people.
You're right.
And what we do is, we as Americans, we're like, oh, America's first of all, we believe the propaganda, and not all propaganda is bad. It's really good for us to tell our kids, like, your country believes in freedom for everybody, liberty for everybody. We propagandize our kids, but we kind of grow up thinking that we're the good guys, and we empower our government because, like, well, we're the good guys, so they're gonna like work on our behalf. They're fucking bad guys. They're bad guys.
But you're exactly right about not going in and doing that, and because of the respecting the laws of their country and the laws and this and whatnot. But in that bad situation, and their laws say we can't come in there, but we're wanting to be like, that's where we start the negotiation processes. Okay, we're going to negotiate, and that don't work all the time. Like you just said, some people are bad men. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Some men don't give a shit about other people. Or, I like that line, but it describes a certain person. some people don't care about you. They don't care about this. They only care about money or themselves or whatnot. They don't believe that there's an afterlife. They don't believe that
Right.
karma, good, what goes around comes around, yin yang, any of that freaking anything. They don't believe in it. You know, does the Mexican cartel give two shits about? No. You know, do those warlords over in Africa give two shit? No.
No, they don't. They only care about power and resources and getting their own stuff.
But I understand where you're coming from. But I look at it like me and Ashley had this conversation one day, and I was like, Jeff Bezos was a normal guy, but he's not a normal guy anymore.
No,
he is one of the richest people in the history of the world. Well, yeah, one of the richest people in the history of the world. And he is now not a normal. You have now have responsibility to the human race because you have so much money. You now are responsible to better the human race, because Jeff Bezos could completely eradicate hunger in some of these areas if he wanted to. He could completely give medicines and do all this stuff if he wanted to. He doesn't do that because things are in corporations and things are in stockholders, and he doesn't have access to all his money.
Yeah, it's not like his cash is liquid. It's valued
once you get that property. Much money, you should be tasked with a responsibility to not go to fucking Mars. Not terraform Mars. Let's terraform the Earth.
So, I just kind of want to wind it back a little bit.
Okay.
We got bad guys in our government that are not elected. I mean, we have bad guys that are elected, but we have bad guys that are not elected. They're appointed or they get hired and they're part of the agency or whatever, and they're empowered. And they just do stuff and because they think they know better, and they're fucking wrong, right? Sometimes they're right, and they okay, so sometimes people abuse their power for the right reasons. Sometimes those right reasons are the wrong reasons. But either way, all of those people that take the powers appointed to them, authorities into their hand, and misabuse it or whatever, you're responsible for that, and I'm responsible for that, because this country, we created the system that gave them the power in the first place. And by continuing to support it the way it is, and as we are, then all the abuses that are done by corrupt individuals, unless we vote to change things or something to change things, it's our responsibility, as you're saying, but we're responsible for all the misdeeds that have been done.
Yeah.
And you can't just turn on the fucking TV and watch football, guys. You can't just somebody will take care of it.
I watched Seinfeld episodes rerun, JJ. I'm on the 9th watch through because they took off. I'm sick of Community.
Heavy. Are you?
No, you're exactly right. But that's that's by design as well, if you want to get into it, to get people to not understand anything. That's why I've always kind of joked. I'm like, in order to today, JJ, today is off year elections in Kentucky and Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
All right. So today is the governor's race. Republican voters in Kentucky will sort through a 12-candidate field to find a nominee to challenge incumbent Democratic Governor Andy Beshear. Andy Beshear is a governor in Kentucky that we've just got gambling in Kentucky passed that has been like a 30-year freaking battle in Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah. And even though we're mainly a Republican state, he's a Democratic. Sometimes we get
I seem to remember us talking about him in the last few weeks for some reason.
And Philadelphia, I read this today. It says a special legislative race in the Philadelphia suburbs could determine whether Democrats retain a one-vote majority in Pennsylvania's House of Representatives. The outcome could demonstrate how voters are feeling in a crucial region of a swing presidential state. Both parties will choose nominees for the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and Philadelphia voters will cast ballots in mayoral primaries as well. So there you go.
Have you decided how you're going to participate? You didn't go vote?
Not yet this morning. I will. We've just, I can just go right down the road. So I get here so early. It wasn't open when I came through this morning. Well, I'll
Well,
go vote. And I think I have decided on who I had decided a long time ago who I was voting for, but who I want to be the Republican nominee. But there's a couple of them that I like. There is
yeah, I think
there's the attorney general is this guy named Daniel Cameron, and he's really he's Trump backs him. He's a good guy. And he's probably the front runner for me. And then there's a girl named Kelly Craft that I've looked into some of her stuff and I like her too. So I don't know who I'll go with.
as you know, I mean, obviously the thing that always gets like the most attention, the most like concentration are, presidential campaign years. So you have, and you have the primaries for when the parties determine their presidential candidates. And then, and then as it gets closer to the race, people kind of realize like, oh yeah, they have important Senate seats coming up or House seats, and the House seats are always important. But I'm thinking as we get closer to the Republican primaries, as people kind of enter the field, we might start like kind of looking at the individual candidates, kind of not to back anybody, but to like, hey, look, let's do our part to kind of be informed and responsible. So we might spend a day just kind of like, or not a day, but like a segment, look at Vivek Ramsey or first you have to spend a day to learn how to say his name, and then and then like we might just kind of look over these people, and I'm kind of thinking like maybe we'll just do a little bit of that kind of stuff. You're making me curious when our next elections in Texas are. Texas, Canada for the FBI today.
I'm going to change the subject.
Please do. Okay. I know you're trying to.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to change the subject now. No, that's Rumble. Don't pull up Rumble. I was reading the chats on Rumble. Hello, everyone on Rumble. I love you.
Yeah, good morning.
Changing the subject. JJ, look at this. JJ's going to be so excited about this because one thing, if you're just now new to the show, welcome. We love you. We're your two dads. That's JJ. I'm Deacon. JJ,
cheers.
So much wants to, cheers. Clinky. Clinkies.
Clink. Clink. Oh, hey, here.
There we go.
It's over there.
Clink. There we go.
Clink.
Okay, so JJ very much wants to give guns to robots. Really badly.
Yes.
He wants to give
AI my God.
guns. The smart nerds at MIT they've found something alarming about AI that you want to give guns to, JJ. All right. Artificial intelligence makes harsher judgments than humans on whether rules have been broken, a new study claims. And scientists fear it might lead to overstep the mark on punishments depending on what information it's been given. When it is programmed based on the rules alone with no human nuance, it is much harsher than when it's based on our responses. The study by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology looked at how AI would judge perceived breaches of a code. They found the best data to program AI with is not normative, where humans have stated whether or not a post breaks a certain rule. However, many models are erroneously based on descriptive data, where people label the factual features of a post, and AI applies the code and decides whether there's a breach. For the study, dog images that could violate an apartment's rule against aggressive breeds were collected, and groups were asked to give normative and descriptive responses. The descriptive team was not told about the overarching dog policy and was asked to indicate whether 3 factual features were presented on the image or text, such as whether the dog appears aggressive. Their responses were used to craft judgments. If a user said the photo showed an aggressive dog, the policy was violated. Meanwhile, the normative group was told about the rules on aggressive dogs and asked whether it had been violated by each image and why. Participants were 20% more likely to declare a code breach if they used the descriptive method versus the normative ones. It's a very interesting article that I came across, JJ. It's long. I don't want to read the whole thing, but you kind of got to read the whole thing to get the whole article. All right. I'll post this article in our Discord server to get you to come over to our Discord server and give JJ a dad joke.
AI can be a little harsh.
Yeah, it's the hall monitor. AI is the hall monitor. Did you think, would you expected anything different? So
No.
if we give your AI guns, it turns into Ed 209.
Yes. So I can't find it right now, but I saw a video yesterday where they have these these rifle systems that are deployed right now in Ukraine. So I can't find an image or whatever. So you have to use your imagination. These are employed right now in Ukraine. It is a like tripod, low profile, sits on the ground tripod, or maybe even it could be mounted to a top of a Humvee thing. And the rifle sits on the tripod, and there's a camera on the rifle. A camera and a rifle. And there's no operator. It's loaded up with bullets. It's set out in the trees or whatever, have the clear view of a place. And hundreds of feet away, hundreds of meters away, whatever, an operator might have little VR goggles and a little remote control.
Let me tell you.
And it can automatically boom.
Let me tell you something else about that whole setup that you just said right there. You forgot one thing too about that whole setup. It doesn't use combustion for the firing for the bullets. It's electric. And so it doesn't make a boom sound. You're just all of a sudden hit with a barrage of bullets and die. And you don't hear anything.
Oh, what is it? What is it? A railgun?
No, have you seen those electric guns?
No,
those ones that use electricity to fire off the bullet. There's no freaking combustion. So there's no.
So generally, there's like, I mean, I've seen them before, but usually, so most of the time, rifles are obviously. Primers hit, explodes the powder, the pressure behind the powder shins the bullet down range, and that makes a big boom. Or you can have you can use magnets and electricity to accelerate something very rapidly, but usually that requires a lot of power. And we have railguns. Like America has railguns, but I haven't seen that. So I saw this. Let's see if this looks like it. Yeah, no, kind of. It doesn't really look like that. Yeah, remotely operated weapon system right here. Let's see if this has got it.
What's going on here? Okay.
So we got remotely operated weapon systems, or even automated systems that can track a target and on the fly. How far is that from taking that, sticking it on a robot body so that it can move around on its own? And now we've got robots with guns. And then let's put some AI in there so it can crawl through the vegetables, or crawl through the underbrush.
Else to talk about?
Yeah. Let's talk about this. Georgia. How far are you from Georgia? Georgia's a neighbor state, right? Not really.
No,
because it's Kentucky, then Tennessee, and then
I gotta go through Tennessee to get to Georgia.
So they're not neighbors.
No.
Georgia education.
About 5 hours. About 5 hours.
I don't know if this is good or not because I haven't read this yet, but I saw the headline. I thought it was good. Georgia Education Board opts to eliminate Common Core standards. According to the Georgia Milestones in 2022, 36% of third graders and 44% of fourth graders were reading below their grade level. So is Common Core bad? Is this like a version of that stinks?
The education system right now is going through a very difficult transition. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is completely my opinion. I have children that I have 5 children. 2 go to public school. 3 go to public school. 1 goes to private school. 1 is homeschooled. Okay. I'm all over the board.
Yeah.
My kids that go to public school have been in public school a long time. Here's the problem, in my opinion.
Okay.
All of us parents grew up without the internet. We were used to sitting in a classroom with 20 to 30 kids, and the teacher teaches us, and we had to sit our ass there and listen and do our work and right?
Yeah.
The kids have the internet now. They have the literal calculator in your pocket.
Right.
They do not need to spend 2 weeks learning blah, blah, blah's theorem in math class. You don't need to memorize it. It's here. You if you're going to work in a field where you have to constantly use that, you might want to memorize it. All right. But you can get a free app that does it. My brother is a carpenter. All right. he's like, dude, we were talking about this one day. He said, dude, I spent 20 something dollars on this app and it is the best freaking app that I've ever spent. I don't have to do any of that. Cause you could see when you would go visit my brother back in the day, you would go and he would have a piece of wood there and it looked like a freaking geometry paper. Because he was doing math on the wood, sitting there with his big fat pencil. So if you ever take the drywall down from your house and had an old carpenter do it, you might have math equations on the wood where he's figuring out stuff, because that's what Logan would do. But he don't do that anymore because he's got an app that does it. So our kids, our education system is in this weird transition to where we've taught a specific way for so long that we really don't need to teach that way anymore, because we have these tools to make our children smarter, and we want what's best for our children.
Right.
So they're trying to figure out this way to do it. And I used to call the middle school, when the kids went to middle school, I was like, y'all go to hippie school. What did y'all learn in hippie school today? Y'all got couches in there and y'all never have any homework. Like if they brought home homework, it was one page that took them 5 minutes to do, and it was nothing. And I was like, dude, I had 30 minutes of homework in every class when I come home.
Yeah, but
I had
like you learned things that, if they, I mean, like learning how to operate a calculator is like, you have to go through like a process of confusion and not knowing what you're doing. It's not enough to just have an app that tells you the answer. You got to know how to ask the right questions. You got to know.
It's exactly right. And so they're in a weird transition of having to incorporate technology into and give these kids a new learning model. So I remember when the kids were doing math and they were doing some stuff, and I was like, he was doing division, and I was like, why aren't you doing the little bracket? Do the bracket. Look, and I was showing him how to do the bracket, and 2 over 1 and 3 divided by. He was like, we don't do it that way. The teacher says don't do it that way. And I'm like, oh, I can't help you then.
Yeah, right.
I don't know the way to do it then.
So for Georgia in particular, they adopted this Common Core state standards in July of 2010, and the current results are like that kids are underperforming. So, I mean, at least they're doing something. They're changing something. I don't know what they're going to change it to, but I don't know. I think perhaps there's, I'm concerned about this stuff because like pretty soon, like my kids are starting school, and I don't know how the teachers. I guess it comes down to this: like, do I trust the teachers to teach my kids when every single day, you and I are talking about stories about motherfuckers trying to indoctrinate children, lie to them, tell them all of this like bullshit.
It's not only the teachers, it's the teachers that are in direct contact with your kids. And then you've got to look at their administration in the school, the principals and whatnot that are over the teacher. And then you've got the school board members that are over the administration.
Right. With their own agendas.
You have the superintendent that has his own agenda, with the school board's own agenda, with the principal's own agenda, with the teacher's own agenda. And somewhere in that middle, somewhere in all those people that have influence over your kid every day, one of those fucking people hate the way you believe, whether it's left or right.
For sure. Some of them think like, oh, I read this paper that says, like if we do certain things, there's a 5% chance that students will be better in this. And I'm like, I don't care about that. I want my kids to be able to read, draw the alphabet. I want them to be able to have minimal logic, at least to be able to apply if this, then that. I want my kids to learn math.
Don't think that if you have dropped off your kid at school and you have a Trump sticker on the back of your car, don't think that one of those people hasn't thought about turning you into Child Protective Services for some reason. I'm serious.
I don't put stickers on my car.
Nasty. No, and I've taught Alex that. We were in the car the other day and I pointed to the car in front of us and I said, Alex, tell me about the person in that car right there, because I've taught him this over the years. And he goes, it's a mom with 2 girls. She's divorced. The girls play soccer and softball. And I was like, yeah. He knew that just from the stickers on her car.
Profile this person.
Yeah, profiled from the stickers on her car. Yep.
I don't do that.
Exactly
And
right.
I definitely judge people too. It's been like 3, 4, 5 years, and I still see people driving around with Beto stickers on their cars, and I'm like, you're a dumbass. That guy is an idiot, and you are obviously you're like, I'm for the idiot. So no, I don't.
I got a Mike Pence sticker on the back of my car. No, that's not who I meant to say. I didn't mean to say Mike Pence. It was who ran against Clinton?
Oh, Romney?
Mike, wasn't it Mike? No, it was Mike. I thought there was a Mike. Oh, I don't remember.
Mitt Romney.
It wasn't Mitt. It was Mike. It was a little Mike guy. I don't remember.
Right.
It was a long time.
Let's. I might save this one for tomorrow. We're already out of the politics stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, hey, check this out. I saw this morning. New York Post.
We got one last story.
Oh, New York Post. 7:30. An anti-capital. Is it really? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. An anti-capitalist pay what you want cafe in Toronto closes after 1 year of business.
Why did they close, JJ?
I don't know. Let me dig in here. A self-described anti-capitalist cafe in Canada named The Anarchist had this business model where you could just kind of pay what you want. Surprisingly, I'm going to assume some people didn't want to pay. The cafe offered to drip coffee to customers with a pay what you want price tag, while charging for other beverages like espresso and tea drinks, as well as breakfast pastries to subsidize the lost revenue. It also allowed the public to use its restroom and hang out in the store without making a purchase. The store carried a selection of radical books, art, pens, T-shirts, and more. And the Radical Anti-Capitalist Cafe, let's see. Unfortunately, the lack of generational wealth seed capital from ethically bankrupt sources left me unable to weather the quiet winter season.
Of course they're going to blame it on everybody else. And the white man's keeping me down.
Wow, nice.
He didn't let me succeed. That's why. The white man.
He ended his statement, quote, fuck the rich, fuck the police, fuck the state, fuck the colonial death camp we call Canada.
Say it again.
Well,
one time now.
You know what? I know he's going to be upset about this, but this story proves that capitalism works. Your business sucked, and you couldn't survive in the market, and you closed it. Tough shit, asshole. Hey, by the way, speaking of tough shit for assholes, could you guys hit the follow button and the like button for this show? And join our Discord. Deke, you're supposed to remind me it's joke time.
Hey, JJ, guess what time it is?
I'm not sure. What time is it?
Hey, it's joke time.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Did you know that I had a story this morning and it was a break-in at a local pharmacy, but police have finally caught the man that stole all of the Viagra from the pharmacy.
Oh.
He was a hardened criminal.
Oh, I bet he was. Deacon, we haven't talked about movies this week. We haven't talked about Guardians of the Galaxy and its performance drop, or whatever. Yeah. But have you heard about this movie called Constipation?
No.
Yeah, you probably haven't. It's not out yet. All right. Thanks for watching the show, everybody.
Drink more coffee.
Yeah. Drink more coffee, guys. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Leave a comment in the video below. Thanks for watching this long. That's Deacon. I'm JJ. We're your two dads. We love you.